Hi, I'm Kate Harrison and I'm the Head of Science here at the National Academy. I was lucky enough to study astrophysics at university and it gave me a real love for the world around me, particularly space, and it's the reason why I went into teaching. Our Year 7 curriculum starts with a topic called Rocket into Science, where we cover all sorts of scientific skills, with a particular focus on how we answer scientific questions and what evidence we need to be able to answer those effectively. This also links nicely into our arch values, where we teach students about respect to the world around us and also other people's viewpoints. We also teach them humility, so the ability to be able to change their viewpoint based on the evidence that's presented to them. We have a cyclical curriculum where we cover all three science disciplines on a rotation system. In Year 7, you cover topics such as forces, cells and particles. And then it allows us to move through all the way up to Key Stage 4 and GCSE. We are lucky enough to have our own science building, which we have 9 fully equipped science labs. We also have an excellent team of really enthusiastic science teachers that cover all 3 different specialisms within science. They're now going to show you some of their favourite experiments. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please get in touch and we'll see you in September.
Hi there, my name is Miss Stokes. I'm one of the teachers of science at the National Academy. The reason that I love science is because there are so many questions that are still completely unanswered, and it's really exciting that every single day there are scientists making those new discoveries to change and improve the world. Today I'm going to show you one of my favourite experiments. It is the experiments all around fireworks. Basically, certain chemicals act in certain ways when they're heated, and today I'm going to show you some of my favourite colours that they turn when these different chemicals are ignited, so when we set them on fire. So you can see there that we have ignited the chemicals, and you can see some of the amazing colours that they turn. So I've just lit these different chemicals, and as you can see they're now burning in those really interesting different colours. I think that copper one, that bright green one, is my favourite.
Good evening, my name's Mr McGibbon and I'm a science teacher here at the National Academy. People often ask me why I like science, and I think the main reason I like science is it allows me to explain the world around me. I'm here to show you one of our demonstrations, one of our gadgets that we use in science lessons. This is the gadget here, it's called a Van de Graaff generator. It allows us to explain things like what's happening in a thunderstorm with clouds and lightning and thunder. I'm not going to show that to you tonight, but I am going to show you a magic trick that it's able to do. I'm not going to turn it on until I'm ready, but when I turn it on, a belt here rubs against a brush. And what the belt does is it carries these invisible particles called electrons up into the dome. Eventually, so many electrons are trapped inside the dome that it starts to do special things. So if I place these cake cups on top of that, and then watch carefully what happens to those when I turn on the Van de Graaff generator. Ta-da!
Hi, my name is Mr Walton and I'm a science teacher at the National Academy. The reason I chose to be a science teacher is because I love explaining how the world works and learning a little bit more about it. I'm going to show you one of my favourite science experiments. This is the whoosh bottle. We're going to fill it with ethanol that can sometimes be used as a fuel, and we're going to light it, and as the ethanol burns, it's going to make a really impressive flame, and this starts to explain how engines in rockets and cars work. We've filled the bottle with ethanol, and now we're going to light it and watch as the fuel burns. I love science.
Okay, so we're going to have a look at how the heart works. Alright, so I've put it this particular way around to show the left and the right side. You might be thinking, whoa, hang on, that's not the left and the right. But if we were thinking about this in a person or in an animal, it would be their left and their right. Okay, so therefore we've swapped it around to our normal left and right if we were looking at it. Okay. Now, if we actually have a look at this, we've got some blood vessels at the top here that we can see. And we can also start to see that we've got some different chambers of the heart. So on the top here, okay, we've got an atrium, and we should have one on the other side as well. So if we just lift this up, we can see another atrium. So those are the top chambers of the heart. And down the bottom here, you can just see a line across there. Okay, and we call these the ventricles. So we've got the right ventricle and the left ventricle. Okay. Now blood normally comes from the body to the right atrium up here, flows down into the right ventricle, and we're going to start to have a look at what some of these things look like. So let's start off with the right atrium. Okay, I'm just going to make a cut across here into the right atrium so we can have a look at it. A little bit more. Okay. We can see in the right atrium that the walls are quite thin, okay, and it's a lot smaller than the ventricle. Okay, so this is where the blood comes from the body into the heart. Okay, if I turn it the right way up again, because on this one it's at the back. If we have a look at the right ventricle, just cut into here. Okay, we can see that it's much thicker and a much bigger chamber. And you might be able to see just in here there's some strings. They look like strings, and these are called your heartstrings. So when someone says they're tugging on your heartstrings, okay, they are actually real things, and they keep the structure of the heart